accurately predict that by the middle, I mean, even though it's 3 months or 2 months after you thought it would have happened by, that's still pretty much an accurate prediction, a stunningly accurate prediction, because a lot of other folks weren't saying that, and people say this is going forever. Now they are introducing the idea that it could totally collapse like France and others have, and Spain and Greece and others. Clearly, it's moving in that direction. Now, a lot of other financial experts are saying what you're saying. A, what's the next big prediction? And how bad will it get? And will it be inflationary or depressionary?
Well, look at here in the UK. It's interesting how the government just states these blatant lies. So the government here in the UK says that the number of jobs are up and the economy is recovering, but their tax revenues are down sharply because these jobs are people declaring themselves as self-employed. So the government counts it as a job, even though they're not really making any income. Or across the board, wages are down. So the tax revenues are, in fact, decreasing, which means the debt in the UK is increasing and the economy is shrinking. But the government will say, the economy is expanding. So the economy here in the UK is also shrinking, along with the rest of Europe. So will they be able to somehow reinflate this economy to achieve growth? And the answer is no. They haven't achieved any growth at all. The debts are continuing to grow, and so this is just unfortunately it means more of what we're seeing now. The blocking out of huge parts of the economy from the majority of people who are being raked over the coals because they have no access to credit, they have no access to decent wages, and all this money that's being printed is just going directly into the pockets of a few folks at the very top of the pyramid.
So it's a totally rigged gulag, archipelago, casino gulag, as you've coined. So again, what happens next?
Well, I think the world, the money in the world, the big money in the world, the people with hundreds of billions of dollars, they don't want to lose their money, and they're going to look for a place to rotate into. The U.S. Treasury market has, in fact, been a safe haven for these huge money types for quite some time, and they have ignored gold and they've ignored silver to some extent. I think that you're going to see finally this rotation out of paper completely, where just all the sovereign bond markets are just completely ignored, and there will be that rotation back into assets, back into hard assets like gold, silver, and so I think that's.
Well, sure. We've seen University of Texas, the Chinese government, the U.S. government, all these rich billionaires hoarding gold while bad-mouthing it out the other side of their mouth because it exposes their paper fiat tower of fraud. And so where do you expect gold to start going? It's surged already today. In fact, we'll put up the latest gold trading right now for folks. I'm going to put that on screen for TV viewers. I'll read it out to radio listeners. But what do you expect to happen, and what else do you expect to go up? And then how bad will this bond rout get? What do you expect to see in major stock markets?
Well, the price of the bonds, are trading at a high that we haven't seen in over 300 years in the UK. In over the entire life of America, 240 years plus. But I think to give some context to your previous guest in terms of the price of oil, there's tremendous pressure on Russia, and after the Ukraine situation, and I have a different take on the Ukraine situation, after listening to Victoria Nuland orchestrate a coup of that government in Kiev not too long ago, nevertheless, my understanding is that Saudi Arabia, our good friends in Saudi Arabia, the ones who behead more people than ISIS will ever behead, the ones who gave us 9/11, the ones who were threatening Tony Blair in his office that he'd kill him if he didn't call off a serious fraud investigation. Our friends Saudi Arabia have been dumping paper gold in the markets, driving the price of oil down. I'm sorry, oil, not gold.
Gold.
And now to the point where in the United States, that shale industry, that brand new shale industry, unless oil is at $100 a barrel, the shale industry doesn't make any money.
So
whatsoever.
Saudi Arabia has got a deal to drive down oil to hurt Russia. They also want to bankrupt the shale industry. That's why they've been financing all the anti-fracking movements. And I'm not saying fracking's perfect, folks, but Saudi Arabia is financing the whole thing with the leftists to shut it down. I want to see what Max Kaiser says about that when we come back. Max Kaiser's our guest. I'm Alex Jones.
Newsflash. Home invasions are on the rise. It takes less than 10 seconds to kick in a door. 10 seconds is not enough time to protect your family. And what would happen if you're not home? Easy Armor is the ultimate security solution. 85% of break-ins are through a door. Protect your home now with Easy Armor. Go to InvasionStopper.com to get real security for under $70. That's InvasionStopper.com. Easy Armor. Your security is our only business.
Listen up, all you preppers and survival enthusiasts. Sigma 3 Survival School has a brand new survival instructor training program that will teach you everything you need to know about survival, and then license you to teach our survival programs so you can make a substantial profit from it. If you have always wanted to learn to be completely self-reliant and would like to make money at it, then check out Sigma 3 Survival School Survival Instructor Program at survivalschool.us or call 479-561-3886 today.
Hi, this is Ted Anderson. Have you ever wondered why banks, stockbrokers, investment advisors won't talk about gold IRAs? They've been available since 1986, yet the financial industry won't recognize the value of gold for your retirement. Gold has outperformed paper investments, yet no word about IRAs. If you would like to have gold for your retirement, call 800-686-2237. Don't get left behind by rising inflation and low returns. Call 800-686-2237. Secure your future and call 1-800-686-2237.
Digestive health is key to wellness, and Pro-EM1 is the key to digestive health. Pro-EM1 is a daily liquid probiotic that improves food absorption and supports weight loss by removing toxins from your system. Recommended by doctors, Pro-EM1 is 100% natural, organic, non-GMO, wheat, soy, gluten, and dairy-free. Call us today at 888-611-8025 or visit ProEM1.com to save over $25 on your order. That's 888-611-8025 or PROEM1.com.
Silver has always been nature's very own antibiotic, and only one system allows you to generate an endless supply of natural silver solutions. SilverLungs.com. You'll find no wild claims or pseudoscience, just a lifetime of nano-sized pure silver solutions. The Silver Lungs generator allows you to make your own, so stop paying for silver solutions. The unique lung delivery system targets respiratory infections where other silver solutions simply cannot reach. See the Silver Lungs generator and lung delivery system at SilverLungs.com. That's SilverLungs.com.
Are you happy doing your laundry with perfume detergents that irritate your skin? Are you happy washing your hands with stinking fragrances that gives your skin rashes? Are you happy paying new, higher prices for smaller boxes? Find your happiness today with our 1 to 4 year supply of pure soaps or our 1 to 2 month sampler with bar soap, shampoo, laundry, and dish soap at 5starsoap.com. You deserve the best. Happiness is 5starsoap.com.
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. 3 square meals you'll need in an emergency. So the Freeze Dry Guys 3 square meal unit sale is just the ticket. A variety pack of tasty, nourishing breakfast, lunch, and dinner on sale now. Breakfast is Freeze Dry Guys' favorite. Hot oatmeal and sweet dehydrated bananas. Lunch is Mountain House freeze-dried hot macaroni and cheese and crisp green beans. And dinner is Mountain House long grain wild rice pilaf and hearty beef stew, vegetables, and gravy. Call Freeze Dry Guy and ask for details on the 126 serving 3 square meals unit. One case normally $164.37. Sale price at only $138.90. Save over $25. Get 2 or 3 cases and save even more. Or ask about Freeze Dry Guys Fall Chili Special. Always free shipping to the lower 48 states. Call 866-404-3663 or click freezedryguy.com. And hurry, the Fall Chili Special and 3 square meals unit are on sale while supplies last. From the Freeze Dry Guy, the finest freeze-dried and dehydrated foods available for long-term storage, period.
Max Kaiser's on with us next week. Show is Freeway Ricky Ross, who's a big part of the movie Kill the Messenger. I was the first person to interview Ross from prison. Actually had Kevin Booth get in there, connected to the legal team, and get that. And they locked him up in quasi-solitary confinement for a while when that happened. What hit me when I was watching Kill the Messenger, that's over the top good, it should win multiple Academy Awards, is that I was so close to Gary North, and then it's like all the other crazy stuff in my life. Not Gary North, Gary Webb. Gary North's another writer with thinking of Oliver North and Gary North. And then I didn't break these big CIA drug dealing stories with him because I was just like, yeah, I already know all that. Sure, come on the air. Sure, sell your book. Yeah, you're a hero. Yeah, they're trying to destroy you. But why? Why put out new documents? Why put out a website with you, Gary Webb? And then they killed him. And then he attacked me for saying they killed him. But the movie basically says they killed him. You know, they show they were threatening his wife, his kids, and that they kill him. I just am speechless how powerful Kill the Messenger, the story about Gary Webb and his Pulitzer Prize and all the rest of it is. I mean, it's simply amazing how all his so-called friends turned against him when the mainstream media said he was a fraud with no proof. Have you seen Kill the Messenger yet, Kaiser?
No, sounds good, though.
I just feel like I dropped the ball monumentally not working with him more and helping get his material out, man. Max, why do you think we're still alive?
We're too pretty. You know, people, they don't want to kill off such a beautiful examples of the human species. It would just destroy their souls more than what they do on a day-to-day basis.
No, come on. Gary Webb had a beautiful soul. Why would they kill somebody like him? Well, I know. He had a new book coming out proving everything he said was true and more. And that's why they killed him. And, of course, the book never came out. I don't mean to digress. It's just that it's just amazing that this film came out and told the truth. I'm dumbfounded. You know, I'm seeing more and more positive messages from Hollywood. What do you think's happening there, Max Kaiser?
It goes in cycles. You know, back in the 60s and 70s, remember they had the anti-hero? So you had films like Dog Day Afternoon and these other films where and then Reagan was elected, and they immediately came out with films like Top Gun and Star Wars, where it's a very simple comic book type format. And now we've had kind of like the last year or so, the comic book format has reached unbelievable proportions of absurdity, where it's, you know, Iron Man, the Avengers, everything is comic books. And now the pendulum is swinging back to, I think, the anti-hero type archetype. Remember Billy Jack, those films from the 70s? Oh, yeah. You know, that type of hero. So I think, you know, it runs in cycles. And it runs, usually, if you listen to a guy named Robert Prechter, who is from in Georgia, he came up with the Elliott Wave theory. He does fantastic work tying market cycles to popular culture. And it's very interesting what he does in that realm. And how you see during down markets, you see the rise of the anti-hero. And during these bull markets, it's a very rah-rah, star-spangled superhero.
Sure. Let me ask you this question in closing. How do you think this is all going to end with the markets? What's really happening in the world right now?
You always ask me this very broad, sweeping question. You know, where is it all going to end? Type of.
Well, no, you made the big prediction that the bond market was going to start imploding. It is all over the world. It is in U.S. Treasuries, which they say if that starts, it's the beginning of the end. So is this the time to start exiting the Titanic right now?
Where the rats are hiding, the last vestige of safe haven status is in the U.S. Treasury market. You know, when that finally gets to the point where they can't jack it up any further, where the central banks, who they went from their balance sheet, and the Federal Reserve Bank now has $4 to $5 trillion of these debts on their balance sheet. The Bank of England increased it by 600%, all the bad debts on their balance sheet. When it gets to the end, there's got to be rotation into what's left. There's gold. There's got to be gold. There's got to be rotation into gold. They've successfully avoided it for the last few years. But as you point out, there has been hoarding all over the world. People are still buying it. Countries like Russia and China are still buying gold. But as far as the way the paper monies are operated, they're still able to keep these prices at high levels. If they bring in quantitative easing which just means that the government buys back its own paper, you know, ad nauseum, and they trying to keep the Ponzi scheme going a little bit longer.
What's going to happen then with the bond market? And keep going down?
Well, yields are going down. Okay, when you read a headline that says the yields are crashing, The fact is that the prices, it's an inverse relationship. The price of the bond is going higher. When they say the yields are crashing, the place where you find the price of the bond crashing and yields going higher is in Greece, Italy, and now France. That's where the bonds are collapsing.
Great job, Max.